All right, so we're in Vancouver at the Indo Hoops tournament. What's been the vibe so far?
Vibe's been great. I mean,
That's how I feel
what
too.
Indopac's what 35th year.
Yeah,
So many teams, like 40 plus teams in the elite division. There's just like a lot going on, so it's
first
nice.
time it was cool seeing first time women's and youth. I think that's huge. We've met some of the girls teams, which is cool. Like seeing what they're doing and playing, and it seems like I told you this is my first time at any Indo Hoops tournament, which is crazy for me to say,
Yeah,
but it's dope seeing it.
yeah. This is like a big one. I
It's
think
huge.
I think too. I mean, there's all that like language or talk around like BC being the hub of like brown basketball or
Yeah,
Vancouver specifically. So it definitely feels that
it
way.
definitely feels that way. A lot
Yeah.
of good players.
Yeah, and a lot of history. Like, there's a lot of players here who have played. Their parents have played at Indo Packs
Right.
before. Their kids playing in Indo
Yeah.
Packs now. So
It's pretty crazy thing that it's been going for 35 years.
yeah,
Like that's strong.
yeah,
Okay, that's been fun. Obviously, we're here scouting. We're doing some other things. We're fundraising, which we've been doing for a while, and it's been a fun journey. But the basketball World Cup,
yeah,
what is okay? Break it down so we all know. Like, what is the basketball World Cup?
yeah. So in simple terms, there's been a tournament organized by World Vision. So World Vision hosts these international tournaments. They've typically been in China, but because of
Right.
COVID, moving back to the States. So we're going to be competing in a knockout tournament in June. So it's four teams. It's us, it's the El Salvadorian national team, it's the Colombian national team, and a select team from the US. So India Rising basically versus Latin American national teams, and then like a US All Star team. $20,000 prize, four minimum games. That's just like a lot of language, but like really, why is this a cool? Why is this important? It's because like we've said from the start, like this is all about creating a platform and opportunities for like many players. Indy Rising is not just like a TBT team only. It's not just a team that does one thing at one time in a given year. The goal here is to create many opportunities to
Hmm.
basically take brown basketball talent and distribute it and spread it out in the world.
Absolutely.
Um, so that's what this is. The dates are June 12th through the 19th. They're working on some details around like being able to broadcast it kind of around the world. So stay tuned for that. You'll be able to watch it. Um, but yeah, it's like super exciting and it's coming up like really quick, honestly.
I think the most exciting thing for me is outside of obviously the national teams, which is huge. To play against any national team is a massive
Yeah.
feat. We're guaranteed multiple games.
Yeah. It's
As
nice that it's not single elimination,
Yeah,
right? Like
because
any tournament.
yeah,
Yeah.
TBT is tough. You go, you lose, you're out. This is like you can build upon even if you were to lose, you can build upon that loss and test new things out and have the opportunity to build the chemistry going into the next tournament.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like for a lot of the guys who are playing in both tournaments, both the let's call it like World Vision World Cup and the TBT, is just like additional reps and chemistry together. Like most
Yeah,
basketball teams, is anyone listening in, or any sports team, right? It's like, okay, we all live in the same city, we all have a consistent practice. Like getting like physical, like in person reps as much as possible is always a good thing.
we have to maximize that this year.
Yeah,
Coaches,
yeah,
we just announced Coach Madhav for
yeah.
TBT, so let's talk about that first,
Yeah, no,
just
super
briefly.
super exciting to have Coach Madhav as our head coach for TBT. And then for the World Vision tournament, we've had some really exciting conversations with a bunch of really awesome
Yeah,
coaches, NCAA experiences, U Sports,
very exciting.
CBL.
Mhm.
So we should be announcing that in the coming week or so. Who's going to be coaching the World Vision team?
And obviously, you guys see we're being a little bit coy, which we have to be, but there's a good reason to that. And now with the player side, gi- give some context on the player side, how we're going to be handling things with two tournaments as opposed to one.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of overlap between the World Vision and the TBT, which is great, right? Additional reps for chemistry. There's also going to be a lot of new names, folks that you know of probably, but you
Hmm.
didn't get to see last year in like India Rising Threads, which is exciting for us. Um, I think about it all the time. Like there's a lot of people that can be on the team, and now that we can play and our second year are playing in new tournaments, just increasing that pipeline and increasing and creating more opportunity is like
Exactly.
really important to us,
Yeah.
right?
It's like you said the whole time, it's like being more than one thing.
Yeah,
Because right now, I think people are just classifying us as like these guys who are taking some guys and playing for one tournament.
Yeah, which
That's
is like pretty narrow.
It's pretty narrow, yeah.
Yeah, like that's not what any of this has been about at any point.
Yeah.
Like and not even one sport. Like we talk about it all the time. Like the plan is to move into golf, move into soccer like
Exactly.
next year. That's no secret, right? We want to take this platform of elevating brown athletes and bring it to many different domains. There's a lot of you guys who we met actually at Indo Hoops who are like, yo, we watch, we listen, we hear the podcast. For those who are listening in, all I can say is it means a lot to be here in person and actually meet you guys face to face.
Absolutely.
That's probably the biggest thing. I'm like, well, we've got one more night here. Like that's probably the biggest thing I'm going to take away. Like, yeah, selling merch, raising $1,000, contributing towards our fundraiser, getting, we're like 8K away from our goal of 20K now, which isn't that bad. Like we're almost there.
Yeah.
That's all nice, but like being able to meet people in person and be like, oh, like I already know who you are, like I follow you, or like,
It's
oh, like
always
your
cool
podcast
seeing
means
that.
a lot, or like I listen to it, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's always
It's always nice seeing like the actual not fan, but like the community member of Brown
Yeah.
Ballers come up and say like, that guy today was like, I listened to you. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I see your face. I get to see your name. Like you actually support us. That's huge.
yeah,
And like you said, the biggest takeaway is the connections we're creating.
yeah. So
Because the last thing I want to bring up is the fact that like we're a full nonprofit. You
the
know,
poll
we've-
results were like confusing. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's just like I think people are still. Oh yeah, actually I should have checked the poll results before this, but they were definitely not.
It's pretty like 50-50.
Yeah, which is fair because we
So
never.
what's the poll?
So I put an Instagram story poll basically asking like, hey, did you guys know we were a nonprofit? Yes or no, basically, right? And you're
Yeah.
saying it's split,
Yeah.
which I agree with. So it's like we never came out and said anything, which is fine. We'll probably do another pod on this later on once we
Yeah,
have really ironed things out. But it's like we've been in a discovery phase for the last year with the brand, with what we're doing, where we're taking it, and we've like established and defined that this is a nonprofit. What we're doing is like 99% for the good of the culture and the people, right? So
Yeah.
it's like we need to have that opportunity for everyone to support us and do more with us. And you can only do that really with a nonprofit.
yeah. I mean, just like there were a lot of people who came by the table today where we were selling like all this India Rising merch, all
Mhm.
this Brown Ballers merch, and they were like, yeah, like so what's all this for? I mean, it's for literally covering flights and hotels for players, renting gyms for training camps. Sports requires resources at the end of the day. To be competitive, you need as many resources as you can. We're fundraising to give ourselves the best chance of winning.
Yep. Simply put, yeah.
It's not a money making machine. Yeah.
It's not a money
To
making
clarify, if it needed to be clarified, like it's
Yeah.
not. It's definitely not. Even if we wanted it to be, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
And obviously last summer was huge. I think this summer is going to be our biggest summer because
Yeah.
we're actually playing in 2 tournaments. There may be some other things we're working on that are coming past that as
Yeah.
well. And we're going to continue to prove and show that we know what we're doing and we're giving these guys platforms and we're not using the same people on the same team every single time, which opens new doors, opens new opportunities for people to come and play for us, which is huge. What's next? I'll leave you this question. What's next? Can you tease anything?
Well-
Can you share something?
Okay. This summer is big for Brown Ballers. Tournament in June, you know about it. The World Cup. Tournament in July, ESPN's TBT, you know about it. July 27th. August, stay tuned because we've got plans, not just
There's
on
a
the
lot of
men's
plans.
side.
Actually, there's a lot of plans actually in August.
Not just on the men's side, but hopefully on the women's side.
Hopefully on the women's side.
Because we hear you. That's all I can say right now. It's a busy summer.
That's it, man. Yo, thank y'all for supporting us as always. We're super excited to be here. One more night in Vancouver. And then we're off to travel. You're off to travel the world and go to India for the tryout.
Yeah, we're off. Yeah, in a two weeks, we're off to India
Yeah.
to scout talent for the team. 200 plus players submitting their
Dude, a
game
lot.
film and stuff. Really awesome folks from the national team, folks from the NBA Academy, like really talented guys. So just excited to see everybody in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Drop a like, follow, subscribe. At the very least, if you can't sponsor or donate to us, just follow or share what we're doing,
Yes.
right? Because we just need to get the word out there.